every single call, every opportunity is a good opportunity. And I'm going to dig into it a little bit as to why. Welcome back to another episode of the Tradepreneur Show. Listen, we are in February. It's still the start of the year. It's early in the year. And what I want to talk to you today about is making sure you've got the right mindset to maximize opportunity and how to approach the home. We've touched on this in earlier segments. However, I really want to make sure that we're staying focused on it at the beginning of the year and throughout the year. January, if you're a business owner, how'd your January go? If you're a technician, dispatch, CSR, whatever role you have, how did your January go? Did you hit budget? Do you have a budget? And that's not just for business owners. That's for technicians as well. That's for CSRs. That's for dispatch. What are your targets? What are your daily targets? Did you hit them? Did you exceed them? If so, by how much? I'd love to know. If you give me some comments and give me some feedback on that, it'd be great to hear from you out there. Did you miss it? How much did you miss it by? And if you did miss it, why? What do you feel was a contributing factor? Have you had time to reflect on that? Have you met with your team? Have you talked to coworkers? And if you exceeded it, same question. Why? What happened to allow you to exceed? These are questions you really need to answer because if you're going to duplicate exceeding target, you want to know what is it that I can take away from this? Or did it just happen? Did you just fall into it? Did you just get the good calls? Which every call is a good call. There is no such thing as a bad call. There's no such thing as a bad lead. In fact, I reminded the team of the scene in the movie, the character played by Alec Baldwin in Glengarry Glen Ross, where one of the land sales guys says the leads suck. And Alec Baldwin's character, a sales manager, said the leads don't suck, you suck. Little harsh, but if you think you're getting bad calls, you're getting a bad lead, time for a checkup from the neck up, because every single call, every opportunity you have is a good opportunity. And I'm going to dig into it a little bit as to why and how you have to reframe your approach to things. Now, back to your January. For us, I will tell you, January was more of a struggle than I anticipated. We ended up finishing pretty good. It's one of our best Januaries we've had. It didn't come easy, and I thought it was going to come easier than it did. Now, I've been at this game long enough to know that that's not the right thinking because nothing really comes easy, right? Now, you sometimes create the illusion that it came easy because you're operating so well. Well, we did have our challenges, but man, I will tell you what we are really good at. We are a really good fourth quarter team. It's amazing what we can do when we're up against the clock. So January actually was pretty good for us, but I'm not happy with it. I'm not satisfied with it. But we're going to carry this momentum into February. We're putting a lot of the right pieces in place for this year. And because guess what? This year is going to be phenomenal for general air conditioning and plumbing. Why? Because we're going to choose it to be. We're going to be intentional about it. And that's what you need to do. You have to choose it to be, and you have to be intentional about it. So if you're a technician, I want to talk to technicians for a minute. If you're a technician, how much money do you want to make this year? Do you know? If you don't know, you need to figure that out. Because if you're with the right company and you're doing the right things, you control your income. You control your destiny. Okay? Very, very important. Business owners, same thing. But when you get to a business, there's a real critical component that comes into play to hit targets, to hit goals, and that's alignment. Everybody has to be aligned. There can be no infighting, and there can be no silos. And guess what? That is an intentional decision every single day, because it's very easy to get caught up in the nonsense. It's very easy to turn your day into a soap opera. So you have to choose not to be that way. All right. So opportunity abounds. Let's talk about that, because early in February, where are your opportunities coming from? And when you go into a home or a business and you say, oh, I didn't get any good calls today. The reality is you did. You got tremendous calls. You're just thinking too narrow, and you're allowing your belief system, your BS, to dictate to you what's a good call, what's a bad call. Now, obviously, if you get a call, and it's a 25-year-old unit, if let's say for HVAC and it's not working, okay, yeah, you could say, hey, man, this is a pretty good call. But those same calls, people don't produce anything on. Nothing happens. Problems aren't solved if they carry the wrong attitude in. Now, you could get a maintenance on a 2-year-old unit that you're tuning up, and there's tremendous opportunity there, right? Let's go back to The Empire Strikes Back. Geek out with me for a minute. There's that scene where Luke Skywalker goes to the swamp and meets Yoda. And he's training under Yoda, his Jedi master. And they're in the swamp, and they're in this scene where Luke Skywalker is going to go into a cave. And he's going in, and he's going to take his weapons. And Yoda says, you won't need them. And, of course, he kind of gives Yoda this funny look and takes them with him, thinking, I'm not going into this cave without weapons. Which is kind of funny because you have a Jedi master telling you won't need them, but you take them anyway. So what does that tell you? 1, you don't trust the Jedi master. 2, you don't trust yourself. So anyways, he goes into this cave, and if you remember this scene, as he's getting ready to go into the cave, Luke Skywalker says to Yoda, what will I find in there? And Yoda says, whatever you take with you. And of course, he goes in, and who does he encounter? He encounters Darth Vader, his fear. And then what happens? He cuts Darth Vader's head off with the lightsaber. The head rolls and the mask disappears. And what does he see? He sees his own face. He sees him in the mask of Darth Vader. And Yoda said, you'll find whatever you take with you. And he took his fears with him. Listen, that scene to me was always profound. And guess what? The same holds true when you go into a business or a home, when you answer a call, when you dispatch a technician, when you call a client, when you handle an issue, when you deal with vendors. What you find in there is whatever you take with you. So keep that in mind. When you're going into the home, what do you take with you? What are you taking with you? Are you taking positive energy, good vibes, and a can-do attitude? Or are you carrying whatever's going on in your personal life or whatever happened in the morning meeting? Or are you thinking about the weekend that's coming? Are you carrying that in with you? That's lesson number 1. You will find on that call whatever you take with you. So if it's a bad call, if you're taking with you, this is a bad call, you will find a bad call. Guaranteed. If you take with you, this is a good call, you will find a good call, guaranteed. And a good call doesn't mean that every call you walk away with selling a new system, upgrading a panel, replacing a roof, you name it. That's not what it means. A good call could mean you did nothing more than establish a phenomenal relationship with the client, and there will be future needs. One of the best things you can do when you go into the home or business is get somebody enrolled in your club membership. Because when you enroll somebody in a club membership, they go from becoming a customer to a client. So always remember that. When you leave the home or business, the thing you want most is a club membership. Now, obviously, if there's repairs to be done, improvements to be made, you want those too. But that's not always the case. Now, when you start your day, let's go back to starting your day. How are you starting your day? When you drive into work, what are you listening to? What's on the radio? Or is it silent? Are you thinking? Let's go back even further. When you wake up, how are you waking up? Are you waking up and hitting the snooze button? One of the most detrimental things you can do is get in the habit of hitting a snooze button. Look, waking up only sucks for the first 30 to 60 seconds, and then you're up. How many times do you get up and you're like, I'm going to go back to bed, and you can't go back to bed. You're up. But how do you get up? Do you get up with intention? Does the alarm go off? You shut the alarm off and you get right out of bed? What is your morning ritual? What is your morning routine? Are you stretching at all? Are you doing any type of physical activity? Are you drinking water? Drink a big glass of water as soon as you wake up. You haven't drank all night. You're dehydrated. Drink at least 16 ounces of water as soon as you wake up. By the time I leave the house in the morning, I've had at least 32 ounces of water. I drink 16 ounces right away, and then I drink another 16 ounces after I get out of the shower. Today I think I had about 50 ounces before I left the house. Get your water in. It makes a difference in how your day is going to go. Do you eat breakfast? I don't eat breakfast. I love breakfast, but I don't eat breakfast. I don't eat till around 11 or 12. We've been fooled into breakfast is the most important meal and all that nonsense. Tell that to the cavemen. But if you do eat breakfast, what are you eating? Is it high protein? Are you loading up on crap, sugars? Are you getting a Pop-Tart? All of that is going to have a tremendous impact. Are you drinking energy drinks first thing in the morning? If you're drinking an energy drink first thing in the morning, you got bigger issues because you just woke up. You slept all night. Why would you need an energy drink? And there's very few good energy drinks out there. There are some. There's some really good ones out there, but most of them are crap for you. Once you get ready, you get out the door, do you have plenty of time to get to work? Or are you rushing? Because if you're rushing, if you're behind the gun, you are setting yourself up for the start to a bad day because it puts you in a different state when you're rushing. It causes stress that you don't need. Now, you get in your vehicle, you're driving to work. What are you doing? Are you sitting in silence, reflecting, kind of meditating, preparing for the day? Are you listening to a podcast like the Tradepreneur Show? I highly recommend that. Just going to say I may be partial. Start the day with the Tradepreneur Show. But are you listening to a podcast? And if you're listening to a podcast, is it something that's motivating, going to get you on the right track, going to give you key insights into how to be better, how to level up? Are you listening to music? When I was a tech, and I still do it, I don't listen to music the whole way in. I'm usually listening to Fox Business because I want to hear the financial reports and things like that. But then I'll go to music as I'm about 5 minutes out, and I put some really good motivating music on for me just to get me dialed in that last 5 minutes of a drive. So how are you showing up? How do you start your day? It's critical. Now, going to a call, how do you maximize opportunity on the call? So I'm a big believer in DOs. What's a DO? Well, there's MDs, medical doctors, right? And then there's DOs, doctors of osteopathic medicine. Now, they're both equally qualified to practice medicine. You have DOs that are radiologists, DOs that are orthopedic surgeons, you have DOs that are, neurosurgeon, you have DOs that are family practice. They just go to a different medical school that teaches a different philosophy on medicine. A DO treats the body as a whole. So they are more into knowing exactly what's going on. They want to know more about, if you have an injury, why did the injury happen? What else is going on with you? Whereas a medical doctor is typically just going to look at what that issue is and treat that issue. So just think DO, Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine, treating the body as a whole. Now, you as a technician need to treat the home, the building, the structure as a whole. What do I mean by that? Let's say you're an HVAC guy and you're going to do a tune-up, a maintenance on a system. And you can be whatever you want to be. You could be an electrician going to do a call. But let's just say it's a routine maintenance. Let's say it's that 2-year-old system. Well, here's what most technicians do. They focus on that 2-year-old system and doing that maintenance. And they think this is a 2-year-old system, so this is going to be quick. I'll be in and out, and I'll get to my next call because the next call is going to be a good call because this isn't a good call because this system is 2 years old. Well, if you treat the whole house as a whole, the whole home approach, you're going to be looking at the water heater that's right next to the furnace in the garage or the basement. You're going to be looking at the lighting in the house. You're going to be looking, if we have pool equipment, our guys go out and look at pool equipment. They're looking for dripping water. They're looking for any type of leak that can get fixed. And so you may say, well, wait a minute, we just do HVAC. We don't do electrical. We don't do plumbing. Why are we looking at that? Well, you're looking at that because there's opportunity. First of all, if there is something that is outside of what you do, but you find an issue and you share it with the homeowner, if you have a network of other contractors, you can refer that contractor to the homeowner to take care of their problem, right? And if you do other trades in your business, you can refer the other trades to take care of that problem. If you just look at what is in front of you, you're going to get run over. People have problems. Sometimes they know they have the problem in the home. Other times they have no clue they have the problem. And it's okay to talk to them about other things you see. If you see a light out and you're an HVAC guy, first of all, if it's just a light bulb, Say, hey, I got my ladder in here. Or I got my ladder on the truck. Would you like me to change that light bulb for you? If you have one, I'd be more than happy to do that. Now, if the light's out, you say, hey, I noticed your light's not working there. Is the light bulb dead? Oh, no, that stopped working a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what's wrong with it. Well, if you'd like, I could take a look at that for you. It might be something real simple, a loose connection. Or I can, refer our electrical department to you. Or this guy I know, we use him when we have electrical work. If you want, I'd be more than happy to share the number with him. He can get out here and get this taken care of for you, because we only use reputable contractors, so I know he'll take good care of you, right? You're treating the whole home as one. You're looking for those opportunities. And again, it's about solving problems for the homeowner. And when you solve problems for the homeowner, when you watch out for them and look out for them, you build trust. And when you build trust, your recommendations carry more weight. And so on that 2-year-old system, let's just go back to the system. What kind of filtration does it have? Did your company install it or did somebody else install it? What type of filtration does it have? Is there an opportunity to upgrade filtration? How about the ductwork connected to that system? Was the ductwork changed out, or is there an opportunity to upgrade the ductwork? I mean, if you're in HVAC, you know that changing out the ductwork can be transformational for people's comfort and efficiency. Smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors. When you're in the home, ask when they last changed your batteries. Hey, you know what? October was fire prevention month. We're supposed to change our batteries. Did you get your change then? No, I didn't. If you got batteries, I'd be more than happy to do that for you now. If they're yellow, if they're, you get in there, that plastic starts to age, they're yellow, recommend replacing them. You should replace them every 10 years. Hey, Mrs. Jones, have you ever had that where in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., there's a beep, and when you finally figure it out, it's the smoke detector, and at 3 a.m., you're running around with a broomstick or something trying to shut the smoke detector off, then another one starts beeping? They're all connected. So you want to prevent that? I'd recommend we upgrade your smoke detectors. Upgrade them? What do you mean upgrade them? Yeah, well, they're 10 years old. They're original to the home, you said. So we know they're over 10 years old. We should replace them at this point in time. And let's go ahead and upgrade them to a dual carbon monoxide and smoke detector. That way you've got double protection and carbon monoxide is a silent killer. So we want to make sure we take care of that for you. There's tremendous opportunity. Look, and we're talking trade. So let's go to automotive for a minute. I have a truck. It's 8 years old, right? I love my truck, F-150. And I take it to the local Ford dealership where I got it, and they do service. And I take it in for the service, and for probably the last, 18 months, the center console, the leather on top or the plastic, no, I'm trying to think, pleather, it's cracked. It's 8 years old. My elbow rests on it, and the heat, from the hot summers out here, it's just cracking. And so has the service manager asked me to replace that? Would you like that replaced? No. If he did, would I say yes? I would. Oh, it's just a maintenance. There's on the car, there's not much there. There's not much opportunity. There's opportunity on every single call. And if at the very least, there's an opportunity to strengthen a relationship and build credibility with the customer for you as a technician and as the homeowner, for the company to the homeowner. So there's always tremendous opportunity. Some of the best technicians I see work the least. They run the fewest amount of calls, but they maximize the opportunity on those calls. And now some of you are going to be out there saying, oh, yeah, you're selling, you're doing the hard. No, you're not doing hard sales. You're finding problems that need to be fixed or should be fixed, and you're finding opportunities to increase in this order: safety, comfort, and efficiency. That's what you're looking for. And if the homeowner likes you and trusts you, and you can show them what your recommendation is, why you're recommending it, and you can articulate it, the majority of the time, the homeowner is going to go with one of your recommendations. And that's the other thing. Don't just give them one answer. Give them multiple answers. People like choices. People like choices. Make sure you give them multiple choices. It could be that the smoke detectors is, hey, here's option one. Let's just take care of that one. Or let's replace them all. Or, hey, let's do the smoke detectors, and let's also put a gas shutoff on your gas supply in case there's any seismic activity or anything like that, it'll shut your gas down. Package them, bundle them, okay? But give them options from the very most basic all the way up to the complex. People are going to say no, and people are going to say yes. But you already have a pocket full of no's, right? You already have a pocket full of no's. So there are no bad calls. All calls are good calls. Not everything's a home run. How you win baseball games, you get base hits, right? If you're going to try and win a baseball game off of everybody hitting home runs, good luck with that. It's base hits. Get on base. Get on base. If everybody just gets on base, eventually everybody comes in to home plate. So it's February. There's a lot of year left. So depending on how your January went great, fantastic, figure out why and duplicate it. Didn't go so good? Okay, fine. Figure out why and figure out how to overcome whatever the challenges was. Do not let the economy, the environment, the news, whatever it is, be your excuse. Do not allow it to be your excuse. What are you taking into the home? Because whatever you take into that home is what you'll find in that home. And with that said, I'm going to wrap up this episode of the Tradepreneur Show. Thank you so much for listening. Again, anywhere you can find a podcast, you're going to find the Tradepreneur Show. We're also on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, I'd really appreciate you liking it. And if you can comment, that's fantastic. It really helps the algorithm. Our whole world's algorithms. So either way, I hope you got something out of the show today. And until next time, be great.